The wind is howling and there's a chill in the air. One of those days where you just want to make your home feel like a warm hug. And if you're feeling the same, come join me as we turn this cold day into a cozy one. Cleaning, taking down the fall decor, and simmering a hearty beef stew that fills the house with comfort. Let's do this together and create that peaceful, homey feeling we all need. One of the main things that I have to do today is to get this pellet stove vacuumed out. In fact, it's something that I actually have to do every day with this particular model of pellet stove. It's very simple. You just take an ash vac and vacuum everything down after you've shut the pellet stove down, and it cools down, which does not take too terribly long. You cannot use a regular vacuum for this. You have to use a special ash vac. If you use a regular vacuum, it will ruin the motor. Ask me how I know. Yeah, I did it knowing that the vacuum was on its way out. It was an old shark that I had, and I just finished it off by using it in the pellet stove, which is not a good idea to do, but, you know. Anyway, we're going to get this vacuumed out and the window cleaned and get it running again so that we can get this house warmed back up. During the winter months, we wrap our porch in plastic, but, you know, rain and snow still tend to get in, so I keep a trash bag thrown over the ash vac, which I keep out on the porch during the winter. We don't have room inside to store things like ash vacs, so we just keep it out on the porch, and the trash bag is just an extra layer to protect the motor so it doesn't get wet. And these coffee filters that I bought, if you remember from my last video, if you didn't watch that, I bought a whole box of coffee filters, like, you know, industrial sized coffee filters from a thrift shop for 25 cents. So I'm actually finding that these work really good on the pellet stove window, and they're cheap, and I don't have to ruin any cloths. So I may take a trip back there and buy a whole bunch of them so that I have them for the winter. I have decided that today is the day that we are going to get the fall decor taken down. And Max is just sitting his little self in the sun, getting himself all warmed up in the sunshine. He's a very sweet little boy. And he's a very nosy little boy, too, as you'll shortly notice. But I'm just going to get all my fall decor put away into this. It's a bag, but it looks like a box, but it's a bag. And I'm going to get it all put away and probably at some point wash some of the stuff down and then find a tote to store it in. All my blankets and everything will go together, and I will slide them under my bed so that I have them for next year. And look at all that dust. You can tell that the kitties have been sitting on my table. And I'm so sorry if that bothers anybody or grosses anybody out, but cats tend to do as they please for the most part, and it doesn't bother me. If I'm going to use the table, I just make sure that I wash it down first. And for anybody that noticed, yes, I did swing my table around and it is pushed up against the window. I am in the midst of planning for where I will put my tree this year and other things, and that is all just part of the process of me taking this fall stuff down and just sort of getting things figured out. And there is Miss Mocha checking out what's different and new with the kitten not far behind her, which he never really is, though yeah, you can see how their relationship goes. He wants to play and she wants absolutely no part of it. Now I'm just taking the covers off my couch pillows, which are just cheapy Walmart furry pillows, and I'm taking them off, and I'm not going to wash them just yet. Right now, it's just about getting things taken down and out of the living room, though I do, off camera, take my pillows and throw all of them in the washer and dryer to get them freshened up until I get the new covers put on. And I have to say, one of my things came in from Walmart that I ordered quite some time ago, and it finally came in. And I was extremely disappointed because even though the um, throw pillow cover is really, really nice, the ad said it was throw pillow covers over and over again, and what came was a throw pillow cover. And I waited close to a month for this throw pillow cover, and now I need to figure something else out because I'm not spending any more money. And even though the throw pillow cover is, very nice, I just honestly wish that there were two throw pillow covers. But I will use my head and figure something else out. And lesson learned, make sure you read the fine print when you order things that are not coming directly from Walmart. I am kind of sad to see the leaves and these pom-poms go. I actually really like the two of them together. If you decorated for fall, how long do you keep your decor up? And if you decorate for winter or any of the winter holidays, when do you put that decor up? Now, back in the day when I had my littles, I did not decorate very early. In fact, we would wait until my daughter's birthday, which was mid-month, to even put up the tree in December. So, because putting the tree up when you have 8 kids causes way too much overexcitement. And as a mother of many, I could only deal with so much of that excitement. But Bella does not seem affected by that, so we can decorate early. And doing YouTube also kind of drives that change to get things up and started a little bit on the early side, so that if somebody sees something they like or gets an idea, they can use it and have time to do it. Now, this wreath is kind of multi-purpose. I had it up during the summer and added some fall flowers for the fall and some leaves, and I am thinking that around Christmas time you will see some poinsettias added into it to overtake whatever flowers live on it, and it's just gonna keep getting some flowers stuck in and plucked out until it falls apart. I actually really like this wreath that I made, so I am perfectly okay with just adding some flowers to it. So now that we added Max to our house, the kitten, we have had to add an extra cat box. And having limited space, unfortunately, the cat box is directly beside the pellet stove. So, in order not to have cat box smells, I dump the cat box completely once or twice a day. And that seems to completely keep any and all smells far away, which is how I prefer it. We do not use cat litter. We use wood pellets. We have many of them, and they do not generate the kind of smell that cat litter does if you are doing it the way that I do it, especially if it's dumped often. I don't have to fill the cat litter box up because cat litter wood pellets expand as they get wet. So if you filled the cat box up, it would overexpand the box eventually. I put about an inch and a half in it, and then at the end of the day, it gets dumped. If they're using the one down here really heavy, I'll dump it twice. However, like cat litter, it does track some, so it has to be swept and vacuumed quite often. I got a couple of dog beds online the other day, and Lulu and Lucky have claimed them, which I kind of figured that they would. But at one point today, the kitten comes jumping up, jumps in the bed with Lulu, and never really did anything, but Lulu immediately jumped out of the bed and ran away. I had to coax her back into it. I am just getting some of the things that are around Greg back in order, taking out anything that doesn't belong, throwing away what needs to be thrown away, and just putting it all in order because it's driving me nuts. So just took a couple minutes and everything's put back and much better. I'm just going to take this stuff to the bottom of the stairs so that when I go upstairs, I can bring it up with me and get it in a tote and put away until next year. And there are a couple little things that I'm actually going to keep out because I am going to restyle them for Christmas on the back side so that in the fall I'll be able to use them for fall, and next Christmas I'll be able to use them for Christmas again if I so desire. And I am washing the table down with Method, and the scent is sea salt and lime, and it is one of my absolute favorites. But I think they actually may have discontinued that scent. What? You want this? I have had a few questions about the vacuum cleaner that I use. This is the Shark One Vac, and it is the one that comes with the charging deck that also empties the vacuum cleaner for you. So you're not having to empty it every single time that you vacuum, because it does have a fairly small holding container for what it vacuums up. It's plenty for doing my whole downstairs, but of course at the end of it the vacuum does need to be emptied. You will find the link to this vacuum in my description box, as well as my 2 cat scratching posts, and I think there's a couple of other things that I have pulled the links for as well. I am an affiliate for Walmart and for Amazon, and anything that you would purchase off any of those sites through my links, yes, I would make a small commission, but at no extra charge to any of you. And I am not paid to tell you anything. I was not paid to buy this vacuum. I bought it with my own money, and these are things that I actually use and enjoy, and I share them with you for the simple fact that I've been asked, and for the simple fact that I like to share things that are tried and true and that I know work.
Did the kitty scare you out of your bed? Did she scare you out of your bed, Kitty? Kitty, you need a fur cut, my dear. You need a fur cut in the bed. What? I need to, yeah. Good girl. That's a good girl. Dad, it's your bed. That's your bed. It's not for the kitty. It's not for the kitty. It's for Lulu. It's for Lulu. It's your special bed. It's your special bed. Yeah, one for Lulu and one for Lucky. Yeah. Oh, it's spots, huh? Look at these little spots. Is that the spot? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That is the spot. Oh, look at it. Oh, God.
I've been trying to give Lulu some extra attention because the addition of the kitten has been a little bit hard on her little heart. She's pretty jealous. And here I am going to give Mocha her pill, or at least attempt to. She's feeling better, so she's very smart to it all, but eventually I get her to take it. And I am not being mean to her or hurting her in any way. She just simply does not like to take her pill for her thyroid, which she has to take her pill for her thyroid because it is necessary for her to live.
I know. Shh, 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 shh. It's okay. It's okay. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. Ow, don't bite. Goodness. Okay. Good girl. Hi, kitten. Hey, baby.
Now I'm out in the kitchen and I am just getting some dishes put away, and I'm going to wash a few that I did leave in the sink soaking from last night, the pan, and a couple that were made today upon getting up. And I'm going to wash them up, and then we are going to move on to making a beef stew from scratch. I can tell you that having the kitchen cleaned up is such a mood booster in my daily life. You can definitely tell when the kitchen starts getting a little bit downhill because my mood seems to travel right along with it. So I do try to keep it cleaned up throughout the day to keep that mood boost going, and I will tell you it's been a long time since I wanted to do anything like making beef stew from scratch or make breads or anything like that, but lately it's been high on my list. There's a definite spot when you come up over the top of those stairs
Yeah, I can feel it. I'm feeling
that there's a cold draft coming through.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what exactly it is.
Walk down here, but I told you fixed all that.
No, it's not. I think it's more noticeable but now, though.
Yeah. This tile's coming up in the corner here.
And then you step up through that spot and it warms back up.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it doesn't help that that air conditioner's in it. No.
it's probably sucking air in.
Yeah.
Want some coffee?
It says it's 68 in here.
Then that needs to be turned up. Ow! He's greeting you.
Me with Daddy. Hi.
I am still working my way through that 50 pounds of potatoes that I bought, I believe, late summer. And we are still working our way through it. And I have to say, I believe I'm barely halfway through the bag. And I've not come across any that are really bad, or really green, although my kitchen gets really cool during the winter, so we are probably going to have to give some away or something just to use some of them up faster so that they do not go green, because once they go green, they say you're not supposed to use them. I mean, if I can cut down through the green, I'll sometimes use them, but generally I don't. Right here, I'm just getting everything washed off, and I'm going to cut the beef up and get this thing put together. And you will see that I overshot the amount that I can put in my crock pot, so it ends up getting cooked on the stove on, I believe I kept it at medium-low, or low-medium all day. Well, not all day, but most of the day, from a little after probably 1 or 2 to dinner time, so it took a while to cook. I cooked it slow even though I was cooking it on the top of the stove. Yeah, so you see, this really isn't going to work now, is it? I don't know what I said there to myself, but it probably wasn't anything too overly nice. But anyway, I realized that after putting a little bit of the meat in, that this just absolutely was foolish, that I was wasting my time, so I was going to go get my pan that Trevor bought me a couple of Christmases ago. And I find that this gets used more often than not when I'm making soups and chowders and chilies and stuff. Oftentimes, I make so much of it out of habit that the crock pot just isn't going to work. And when I make a meal like this, I really do want leftovers for another day or two so that, you can use it for lunch, or, if somebody don't like what's for dinner that next day, they can have some of this. And I don't know who I was talking to in this video. I assume it was either Greg or Tyler or somebody. I had a house full of people, so it's hard to say who I was talking to, but I did take the voice out to keep whatever conversations that we were having private, because it was probably nothing that should have been shared. There is one little detail about my videos that I want you all to know. Generally, I focus the videos on myself, my own feelings, my own thoughts, and I do not focus my videos on what other people in my house are thinking or doing or saying. And because of this, I think that sometimes people think that other people in my home are not pulling their weight. And I assure you, this is absolutely not true. You're just not seeing those parts of my life because I'm not sharing them with you. My son, he pulls his weight more so than I even ask him to. And Bella is always lending a helping hand. She helps with pop up if he needs to go out. He can't get in the car without somebody lifting his leg in the car. She will go with him and do that for him and help him with shopping and anything else that he needs to do. She is known in our local area as his little sidekick, and she is always helping him and helping me and doing things around the house without being asked. They don't do dishes because that's just not something I have asked them to do. I prefer to do the dishes myself, and that's just how it is. Certain things are jobs that I keep for myself. They do know how to do them. They will do them if I ask them to or if I'm sick. But I often do not ask anybody to because watching somebody else do those things honestly drives me insane. So, laundry, dishes, things like that, my kitchen, uh, so forth and so on. If they're a mess, yes, it is my fault because those are my jobs. And, if I ask anybody to vacuum or do anything like that, they are always right there to pick up and help out. And, if I didn't want to help load pellets that night that I did, Trev would have done the whole thing himself without a single complaint. Plus, he has other things going on in his life that he deals with and does, so we're not his only focus in life, and he helps out more than I can even express. So, as far as me having help, I have lots of help, but sometimes I just drop my own ball, and that's nobody's fault but mine. The flowers on this Christmas cactus were dying, so I'm actually twisting them off and I'm going to water it. And there are still blooms that want to bloom, and they should bloom out fairly quickly now that I've pulled the dying flowers off. It will give the energy back to the blooms and it will bloom out much faster. And here we are. The beef stew is all done and ready to go. I just have to get it plated up and put some bread with it, and we are going to sit down and have dinner. I absolutely love making this pull apart bread, and the way that it smells and the texture of it is just so on point. And what's a video without seeing Max up to some of his silly antics?
Your membership isn't
What causes hives to keep coming back at
to extraordinary
night?
experiences. With the AAA app, discover savings and hidden gems. AAA, we're always with you.
Hi TikTok, we're Ashball. Our new album, The Flesh, is out now. And we're so excited to share the love of the Flash, TikTok, and Ashball.
Betsy!
Unlock a time-limited Flash Plus offering for completing 4 tasks. First, follow Ezra on TikTok. 2, like after them. 3,
What you doing, buddy?
4, create a video using Whiplash. Search Ezra to find numbers.
Says it's an overactive immune system for chronic hives.
Yeah. I let the soup cool down enough so that I could get it put safely into the refrigerator, and I put the bread away as well, and it will make a good lunch for tomorrow afternoon. And I think, in all honesty, things like this taste better the second day heated up again.
Did you look at my thing to see if they'd
As the foundation of Anne Frank says, Anne Frank's house, that is unimaginable that it happens today. Thank you, man. Martha? Yeah, sure.
Can I see the movies over there?
Yeah, hold on. And I am simply going to get my dinner dishes done and put the kitchen to bed for the night, edit this video, and get myself to bed. Thank you so much for spending this cozy day with me. There's something special about turning an ordinary day into one filled with warmth and comfort. I hope this brought a little bit of that into your home too. Remember, it's the simple moments that make a house feel like a home. Until next time, take care, stay cozy, and as always, happy cleaning. Bye-bye.